So this is my Nissan Aria, and this is the very first car that I've owned that has an app with it. So this week we're going to be looking at the app that comes with this car. So the Nissan Aria, like a lot of Nissans, comes with an app called Nissan Connect. I've heard a rumour that Nissan Connect is not going to be used in the States. I might be completely wrong about that, but they might be transitioning over to, I think it was called My Nissan. I saw it in a forum and I have no idea whether that's factual or not. But here in the UK, other territories, they seem to be sticking with Nissan Connect, at least for the time being. Who knows what will happen in the future? So here's a screen that I've got on you'll see on my phone. I've got a lot of kind of charging apps, and I've set aside a little screen just for that kind of stuff, as I still try and find my feet a little bit with all of this. So I'm going to go into Nissan Connect and have a look at the app. Now you will see on the app screen at the very top, we've got a nice little picture of the car. I don't know whether it shows you the correct colour of the car. I don't know. Mine is Aurora Green and the car looks Aurora Green in the little picture. Perhaps you can put in the comments if you've got a copper coloured one or white. Does the car look the right colour? That would be neat. I somehow doubt it would do that. Immediately below that, then we've got the estimated range of my vehicle, which is saying 103 miles. And at the moment, the car has 47% battery and the car is locked. So that's useful information. I know the car is locked. That's handy because if I'm like several miles away from it, did I lock the car? Yes, I did lock the car. The app has told me that. So that's handy. You've got a row of icons underneath it. Now, these are a bit weird because some of them you can touch and they will do things, and other ones are just information. So that's a kind of user interface weirdness. But the one on the left, that you can see it's kind of greyed out at the moment, that lights up if the car is on charge. So that's quite good. The one to the right of it is for the climate control. If I tap that, then the little animation will start and it will turn on the climate control in the vehicle. Now that is quite a specific EV thing. I don't think you get that with connected apps on petrol and diesel cars. I don't think you do, because it would just drain the battery. But there's a very big battery in an EV, isn't there? So that works. You can tap that and it will set the climate. It will just turn it on to whatever your preset is. So the right of that is locking or unlocking the car. So you can tap that button and it will unlock the car. Handy if first you want to let somebody sit in your car and you're not anywhere near it. You can unlock the car, they can get in the car. They can't drive anywhere because you've got the keys. So it's quite secure really, but that's quite good. But you'll see there's three little ditties there, three little dots, and ellipsis next to it. We'll tap on that, and that then gives you a little bit more information. So again, we've got the charge on there. It says it's not plugged in. We've got the climate control, which you can turn on and off, lock and unlock buttons. Now, but immediately below that are buttons for lights and horn and lights. So if you forget where you put your car, and let's face it, who hasn't done that? You can tap that and the car will either flash its lights or the horn and the lights going kind of in a car kind of way, going, yoo-hoo, here I am, like that. It's not actually doing that, but it's the car equivalent. So that's good. So let's go back. Now immediately below that you've got a whole list of little tiles that you can tap that will give you information. So if I tap the top one, which is charged, it'll tell me whether it's charged or not, how much the battery is, how much estimated range. We already know that from the front screen. But it gives you also the current status, and also crucially you have a charging schedule. So if I tap on that, you can actually set when it will come on. You can set a schedule and you can say when it will start, on what days and at what times. So that could be useful for you. You know you're going to plug a car in, you want to perhaps take advantage of a cheap overnight charge maybe, and you can trigger your car to just kind of start charging at that time of day. That's quite cool, quite handy. Immediately below that, it's the climate control. It tells me the temperature in the car is cold. If I go on there, I can actually set the target temperature and turn on the climate. So this is where that was that button on the main screen which let you just push the little fan, and then it would turn the climate on. This is where you can set the temperature to decide how warm or cold you're going to set your car to be. Alternatively, immediately below that, you've got here a set departure date and time. If I tap on that, then you can actually put on here when I'm going to go out and what time I'm going to go out, and it will make sure that the car is nice and warm or cooled down, depending on the time of year, for when you go out. You've also got some tabs at the top there. So this was one time. You can also set the climate. If I go on to repeat, again, this is similar to the charge where you can actually set it to warm up at a particular time of day. Be great for the morning commute. You can set the climate control to turn on because you leave the house at the same day every time. Human beings are, if nothing else, creatures of habit. And you could go on there and say, well, I'm going to leave for work at 7:45 every day and the car will be nice and toasty for when you get in it. Or cooled down, depending on the time of year. You get the theory. Next down, we've got a thing that says vehicle health. So let's tap on that, and it's having a little think about it. And this is basically checking tyre pressures, brakes, the ABS, airbag, all that kind of thing. And if I tap on there, it'll just tell me a little bit about each of those. In fact, it's telling me what the tyre pressure is for each of those. Now, interestingly, when I bought the car, they were all on 39. And I can see here that they have gone down just a little bit. There's one there on 36. It's very good, isn't it? It's giving you a real indication of what's going on. That's very good. Brake just says here, warning will appear if the brake system of your vehicle is not functioning properly. You probably might realise that if you don't stop. Then we've got the ABS as well. Yeah, you can see on here, it's monitoring the car, and it will tell you if anything's not working, if you haven't crashed and found out about it another way. Monitoring, this is something, if you've got other people that use your car and you don't trust them, why would you give them your car to drive? You can set monitoring alerts here to set for times of day that you can drive the car and the speed and the areas and that kind of thing. So good if you've got crazy kids. I mean, why would you give them an expensive car to drive? I've no idea. But if you do want to do that, you can set little things in here that, well, I don't know what it does if you go off what you've selected. If you don't do what does it do? I don't know, does something come out of the front? Instead of an airbag, does a big fist come out of the steering wheel and punch him in the face? I've no idea. Put in the comments if you know. Next below that, we've got the driving history. It tells me what what I've done on each day. You can do this, you've got a little menu at the top. You can go daily, monthly or yearly. And it will give you an idea of the energy consumption, the number of trips, how many miles, how long you drove the car for. And also you can set the kilowatt hour cost, and then it will tell you how much it's cost you to run the car that month or day or year, depending on your setting. So I've got in here, it's set at the moment for 34 pence. It's 34.225 pence. Won't let me put the 225 in, but it's 34 pence. And it says on here, CO2 savings for March so far. I mean, I'm recording this near the beginning of the month. Let's go back to February. So for the whole of February, because I've got an entire month there, it says I saved 83 kilograms of CO2 gas savings. Now, of course, you kind of could take those sort of things with a pinch of salt because there's a lot of variables in here. But, you know, we're driving EVs, so we're going to have done some good. So, yeah, that's good. What about January? I did a bit more miles in January, I think. So how much more is that? 87.8 kilograms, it says I saved. So that's good. I'm saving the planet. Good for me. Woo. And then on here, vehicle service. That was just a piece of information that I put in myself. So I think I'll probably get a letter or a phone call to tell me about that, won't I? Let's be honest. So that's it in there. Now we've got some other icons at the bottom of the screen. So let's have a look at those. That one is a map icon. If I tap on that, it will show the current location of the vehicle, and also it will give me a route to the vehicle in Google Maps, which could be handy again if you'll just forget where you put it. So let's go on to the next one, notifications. And this is just basically telling me I started the charge of the car, I stopped the charge of the car. When an earlier version of this app gave me more information in this notification section, but it seems to only be telling me when I start and stop a charge, and it doesn't seem to be giving me any other notifications now. So I don't know what's going on with that. So yeah, I don't know what that's for, but it's, yeah, I don't know. I think maybe they've broken the notifications, but yeah, anyway. Then we've got some help screens, where I am, a driver's guide and contacting, all that kind of stuff. And we've also got then an account section, and in here you can set up your account to log in. You have to log into the app, and incidentally, I put the app on my wife's phone as well, set up her account under her email address, and it said it wouldn't let me log into the app, or wouldn't let me connect the app to my car. You can only have one log-on registered to a car. So it was fine, I just logged on as me. So we both got the app, both logged on with my account, because otherwise you can't do it. I don't know why that is. Why is that? No idea. So you can set in favourite addresses, which you can then use on the mapping section. You can plot a route, and then you can send that route from the app to the car, and then when you get in the car, it will be there on the mapping system, ready to take over as soon as you drive off. But I mean, it's kind of the sort of same thing that you might do with Apple or Google Maps on your phone, and then get in the car and use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto to do kind of the same thing. But the reason you may want to use the mapping that's built into the Aria in this case is that it has got in there a link to a TomTom, I think it is, to do the maps, and it's certainly got a Google link in there as well somewhere. But it does have charging stations in there, and it's supposed to do a kind of Tesla-y type thing where it will work out the best charging spots for you to stop off at based on your range and the charging availability at that place. It's not going to be as good as the Tesla system. It just isn't. I haven't tried it. I'm still very kind of not sure what apps to use and things for charging, and there will be more videos on that very subject coming up on the channel in the future, so be sure to subscribe to see all about that. I'm learning all the time. So that's it, the Nissan Connect app for the Nissan Aria, and also because it works with other cars in the Nissan brand as well. What do you think of it, and what do you think of other apps that maybe you've got for your vehicle? I'd love to know about them, and post your comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, hit like, don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you for some more great EV content really soon.